Welcome back to Maria's DIY world. So in this vlog I will be tackling the fronts of the 3 drawers and the front down here. But my plan is to kind of figure out which point here is the best to aim for. This material is pretty soft, so I don't know if it is sagging a little bit or if it just looks like that because there's a little gap here. So I want the front to go just below. So here's the bottom of the drawer, just below the drawer and just above up here. But I brought out my level to see. Oh, I did clamp this in, hoping that it would stay together. It seems like it did. Remember I showed you it was open here. It seems like it's in the right position now. Here. So it does sag a little here, but I can tell by the gap right here. So you see how it's further down here, and then it actually goes down a little bit here. Not that one, that was by the end of the level. All right, let me just draw a line on top as well. Okay. 14.8 and a half, I guess. 14.9. Well, that's close enough. Well, it's pretty much the same measurement. Half a millimeter is so little that you can't hardly tell. So, okay. Then it's just about cutting that outside where it's cold and dark and miserable. So the drawer fronts that I'm making are shaker style, and to avoid them being too thick, I bought a thinner board. So the ones that I used for the rest of the cover is 12 millimeters thick. So this one is 6 millimeters. And then when you do the shaker style, I just made a drawing here. You add the pieces all the way around. And so if I add 6 and 6, you will get 12 millimeters. So it will still be the same thickness as the rest of the cover, you know, just not in the middle, but that will be fine. And then it won't be as heavy as if I'd gone 12 and 12, because that would have been really thick. But right now I'm just kind of debating with myself whether I want all the pieces by the edge to be 5 centimeters or 4 centimeters. So I drew on both sides of my paper. So I can't actually compare them, but this is a 5 millimeters. So I chose to cut this 15 centimeters, so it's 5, 5, and 5. On the other side, you have 4 and 4, and then, 7 in the middle. And I actually think I like this better rather than that. And I couldn't decide whether I wanted this piece to be the longest or this piece to be the longest. And then I finally just Googled, and everything I saw, let me just put that here. Everything I saw, this one was the longest. So it wouldn't go this way, but go that way. So I'm just kind of sticking with that. But this is the exact size that it will be then. So let's just, put it in front. Okay. So, that's difficult. So this is basically it. Done. Ta-da! First row done. Okay, but seriously, maybe I should just go cut. It's really final call for working outside. It's getting so cold. I have ice on my table. That's ice. And I did remove a couple of other ice chunks. And I also had to cover my saw in the old tablecloth. So because it does have a little bit of treatment on it here, so water doesn't come through, because it does drip from the ceiling. You can see there's ice on the ceiling as well. And my car is iced over. Yeah. Not too bad though. I do have gloves. I don't think I can actually work with them. We'll see. There we go. I think we're good here. Still don't want to be cutting the table. And now I'm shooting directly at my car. So I want to cut all these pieces for the shaker style as well. And as I said, I'm going with the 5 centimeters one instead of the 4 centimeters one. So I know it's, so this out here is 15, and so 5 and 5, that must be 18. So 30 plus 36, so 66 centimeters per draw. So 66 times 3. That's how much I need to cut. Oh. That was far away. Yeah, I probably won't use that. Oh, yes, I think it's 4.9. Well, then we're going with 4.9. Okay. Number one, better place it somewhere where I don't cut it again, as I almost did last time in my last block. All right, 3 pieces. Okay, so 6 pieces of 15. Three. 6 pieces. And then 6 pieces of 18. So that's a rough idea. Does it go into deep? Should it have been more shallow? Well, it's not. Yeah, it is what it is. Oh no! My workspace is being ruined. It's dripping everywhere now. Okay, it's time to evacuate. Oh, I need to move that. It's defrosting now. That's not good. Oh my gosh, it's not easy being a DIYer. So I think I saved my board. I had some water on here, but I wiped it off. But now I have a lot of sawdust on it in here. luckily I finished the first cuts and now I need to sand, and I'm just happy that I'm back inside. I'll just sand and glue, I guess. Well, this is a different temperature now. So the edges, oh well, yeah, the edges are kind of rough. So I'm just gonna take the worst part of it, just smoothen them. This is 240, so it's really just soft. It would have been nice to do this outside since it's kind of dusty, but oh, I have a vacuum cleaner. Wow, it's all over the lights now. Oh, this one's a wet one, I'll just wait. So I made a mistake when I cut all these extra pieces. A tiny mistake, but a mistake nonetheless. I'm done sanding, except for these two pieces, they need to dry first. But let me show you what the mistake is. So as I cut, I realized that I was cutting off a little more with my plunge cutter than I thought I was cutting off. When you do that, you need to compensate for that, but I didn't. So this was supposed to be 5 centimeters, but it wasn't quite. So we're just cutting this 18 and not checking my measurements. Yeah, you're missing a whole millimeter on each side. So I guess you have two options in a situation like this. You redo and waste your materials. It's all of these pieces, they need to be longer, the middle piece part, or you fill in the gap and you live with it. And you learn. Well, I guess you learn either way. Since I'm not a wasteful person, I'm gonna live with it. I'm gonna fill them in. So I guess I'm at a point right now where I'm ready to glue. So I got my glue out and a washcloth, just, you know, in case I get a lot of glue on my fingers. I can't pin nail these in because if I do, they get stuck to my table. And even though that's very intriguing, I'm just, you know, not gonna choose that option. So yeah, I can only glue them, so that's what I'm going to do. All right, so I have fitted my first pieces. Instead of pushing it all the way over, I just want to divide whatever space there is and make it look like that's, you know, supposed to look like that. It was on purpose, you know. It's a design thing, right? So when you add this, at first it's so slippery, and then it kind of grips on, and then it's kind of hard to move. I want the edges to be spot on. I think I got that one on. Okay. I'm going to do this without adding pressure to it. I don't know if that's a good idea, not doing that, but it's just kind of slippery, and I'm afraid if I add pressure that it will skid out, and I'm not going for that. When I do attach the drawer, there will be pins going through, so I think I'll be fine. But for right now, I'm just putting glue on and then leaving it. Because it is paper on paper. MDF is just compressed paper. So I'm just kind of hoping that it's just gonna stay like that. So here is what they look like now. I'll just leave them and hope they dry up really nicely. So while that's drying, I thought I would prepare the knobs. Ideally, I would like knobs exactly as the ones I used for my coat rack. Remember I made this coat rack and I have these brass knobs. They're really nice. My problem is that I was just too late. They were sold out. So when I did my bed in my bedroom, you can go back and watch. I needed something to stabilize the floor part of my bed. I have a floor right here, and to stabilize the laminate floor that I put in, I found some old door fronts in my attic. And so I cut those up and I took the hardware off. And in that process, I took off these little knobs. And they are not pretty. It's very obvious they have been in an attic. And yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and spray paint them and see if I like that color. I do have two different kind of gold spray paint. I want the one that is closest to the brass color as possible. So I guess maybe spray paint one in each color and then see which one I like better. I did give them a rough sand and a wipe down. Don't know if they needed that. They do feel kind of soft, nice and soft now. So yeah, let's try. Well, I need a second coat for sure, but this is where we're at. Making very sure to line the two things up so I know which is which. Well, I already know which color to pick. It's actually pretty easy. So it's actually just one layer, one coat. So this is the knob that's going on the shoe rack, and it's exactly like the one on the coat rack. So if you compare it to this one over here, you can see that it's not the same color. Well, can you? Even. Here you go. Whereas if you put it over here, it's more or less the same color. That's actually a way better angle. Let's just bring this one back. So there you go. So it has been a few hours. It's dry, so I thought I would caulk. My tip is a little big, but I hope it will work. Oh, what a mess. Oh my God, what is this even? This tip is way too big. So I guess this will help everything stay in place as well. Maybe I can use this for trying filling in the holes. What I like about this caulk is that it kind of sinks in. So I'm kind of closing the gap, but not actually closing the gap, so you can still see it. That's kind of the point with shaker style, I guess, that you can see it. Because otherwise you would have made a miter cut, I guess, and then concealed it. Okay. All right, I will leave that to dry. More drying time. On those days where you just really want to work and get a lot of things done, drying time is annoying. But yeah, I'm just waiting. All right, so I have given it some time. So now I've mixed another filler, well, a filler that I'm going to put on the sides. You can see where I put it together. I don't know if I can conceal that completely. If you hear noises in the background, it's because my daughter is cooking dinner. Let's see how this goes, because, you know, I don't know if this is the way forward. This is just really what I'm doing. Oh. I will be sanding afterwards. It's kind of like mudding. Okay, this is the last side, and I also just realized that I am in a rush, in a hurry, because I need to be somewhere. So, and I haven't eaten yet. We're having an early dinner, which is why it's still not completely dark outside. Our Christmas lights are on though, out there. It's like almost 4:30. And we have to be somewhere at 5. And I'm also kind of feeling a burn in my neck now from doing the same movement for a very long time now. Oh, almost. Come on. Let's try again. See if I can smooth it out. Almost. Almost. All right. I'll just leave this to dry. It looks horrible right now, but you know, I'll leave it to dry so I can sand it. They are dry now. So I put a towel here and I am just going to sand them. Hopefully it will look smooth. This is just as messy as sanding after mudding. In a smaller scale, but wow, it's messy. So the first one is nice and smooth now, and you can't tell that it's 2 boards put together, but I do have a couple of places where I want to patch a little. Don't know if you can see this corner. Yeah, so I want to make that look better. So yeah, but I'm going to sand them all first and then wipe them down and see if I can patch a few places. All right. I don't know. Is that working? Oh, maybe that is working. Nah. Kind of. Not quite. I also need to put some paint down here. Actually, I think they turned out pretty well with that extra gap. Let's just look at them here. Well, there's a lot of paint on right now, but I don't really think you see them that much. So I think I'm good. I think that was a pretty good decision to just do it like that. Oy. And I did say after I cut the pieces that I was a little worried that it was too deep in here, but I think I'm fine. I think it looks fine actually. Can I even do this? Does that even look good? I don't have that small of a ruler. So in other words, I'm over that. It's perfect. I do think I need to prime twice because it's MDF and it's just paper. So it takes a lot of paint. And work, it takes so much work doing this. I'm just wiping my edge down here so I don't get, even though it's the back side, you know, I'm trying to make it look just a little nice. Okay, so I am all done priming and I actually went to the store and picked up my paint. You know, I could make a big reveal and show you the paint, but the very truth is that it's just white. But I can show you on here. So I did pick this one. They don't have any fancy names, just, you know, YU 10008 or whatever. So yeah, I didn't want a yellow undertone, so I thought that was a good one. I did test it. That was not the one I tested. I actually never followed up on that. I didn't pick that, so I went with a darker one. I did test that too. The first one I didn't see any difference at all. The second one I saw a small one, and it's really just white. So yeah, I gave up on that. I don't want to keep buying paint samples because that does not make sense for me, to me. So yeah, I'm just gonna paint now, and then hopefully I'll just, you know, maybe I will look at it in the beginning and be like, and then I will just ignore it for the rest of my life and be like, okay, that's the color of it. So yeah, I say this a lot, but it is what it is. Well, okay, here we go. Ta-da! It's white. So, being cheap as I am, well, I'm still on unemployment aid, so I don't have a whole lot of money right now. I picked a paint that was on sale. So it's very glossy. It's the paint that you would usually use for baseboards. I don't know. I'm not very familiar with all the English terms when it comes to paint, because you use words and we use numbers. So this is a 50, which is very shiny. So, but it was way cheaper than a 20, which I would probably usually have picked. So yeah, but it will work. It's not like I look at my baseboards and think, wow, they are glossy. So I think I'll be good. Okay, almost all the way around. Okay, oh, let me just wipe it down here. So I don't know if you can see a color difference. Maybe if I step over here. Nah, not really. That one is painted once and that is only primed. It's still wet. I just painted it before. I'm just going to measure and find the middle, and then attach the knobs. sandy area. Oh, here we go. Oh my goodness, that looks so good. Isn't this just amazing? The satisfaction from doing this and succeeding, it's amazing. This one is not. Wow. I love it. And they were, well, I can't say they were free, but they were, because, you know, I upcycled them. I just made them all pretty and nice, and now I have to pin them on. I don't really see any other way of doing this, and then just, yeah, doing this. I should pull this out as I put glue on it. Oh. Please, I hope this is going smooth. The thing is, I have to pin it in while it's up here. I guess I can pin the bottom part and then bring it down and then pin the rest. This is a little scary. Whew, okay, here we go. I do have the lines that I drew, remember? Big breath. And where do we think it is here? I think there's one here. Whew. Okay. Now I can see it. Wow, it's aggressive. Okay. Whew. I have some holes to fix. It looked so good. Okay. Don't want to put too many holes in it, because why? All right. Let's put in the first finished draw together. Okay. Here we go. Oh my goodness. There's a little bit of a gap, and I have to pin in there. Okay. All right. Besides from the pin marks, that looks good. So for the last piece right here, because I'm still missing a side piece over here, I just went and got this to see. It should be pretty perfect. Oh, yeah, like that. I need to make sure that, yeah, I need to hold that up against two. It looks pretty equal to me. Good thing I can still get this off, because when I need to attach this piece here, I can't attach it while it's on here because I can't get my pin nail in here. All right, I don't know how much you will be able to see, but I am doing my best here. Stop running, please. Okay, last piece in. A little further down. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm blocking you. That's pretty perfect. That's pretty perfect. Maybe a little. Wow. And what about I'm so hot right now, sitting in front of the radiator. Oh, everything is moving around. It's so freezing cold outside now that, yeah, you need full blast on your radiators. I think I'm just gonna pin nail it right here. Oh, please. Please, 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 I hope it's in. Yes. Oh, can you see it? I'm all flushed. Also a little bit stressed. Okay. Oh goodness, that looks good. Oh my God. That was a lot. And you know what? This took me 3 full days to do. Only these fronts. I'm telling you. Cutting and drying time. Oh, I need to get that off the floor. It takes a lot of time. A lot of time. They look really small, the pinholes, so that's good. Hopefully they will all disappear. That one is a little more visible than the other ones. Maybe it's just because it needs to be painted. All right. I am going to leave that to dry. And to be honest, I think this video is getting too long. So I guess that was it for this time. It seems like I'm not getting anywhere, but it takes so long. And I want to be honest about the process, not just doing the fast forward and woohoo, I did this in 1 minute. No, stuff like this takes a lot of time. So thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when I'm ready with the next one. Have a nice day.